Good morning, vinyl community. Jeff here, and I'm coming to you today out of the ordinary. I mean, I hadn't really planned this, but basically, I picked up some things at my local store. So, and I picked them up last night, and so I wanted to go ahead and do this video. The store that I recently showed a couple videos ago, where I got a bunch of 80s stuff, and somebody is dumping 80s stuff there, I guess, in small batches. If you remember or had seen the video a few videos ago where I got all the like Virgin Steel and all these, Nightmare and all these other kind of more obscure 80s metal type stuff. Well, so this particular store is one I go to frequently, and they do a video on both YouTube, Facebook, things like that each week, or whenever they get stuff in, and it'll be like, these are the new restock items, and then these are all the new secondhand stuff that comes in. Now, a lot of times I would kind of watch part of the video. Sometimes the videos can get kind of long. They talk a lot about the records. And a lot of times I was forgetting to wait till the very end, where they just basically show flipping. They just, the restocked or the secondhand stuff. So I recently, because of those finds and realizing that 2 in a row they had, that I realized I need to start watching the end of the videos. And so yesterday I watched the video. They dropped within 30 minutes, and I saw this album, and I got on there real quick on Messenger. Hey, can you please hold that? And we had my head in that way. And they're like, sure. Now, they had 2 that I wanted. I ended up getting one because the other was a little more pricey, but Tokyo Night of the Blade. Now, the funny thing was, in my mind at least, a couple videos ago, you remember I showed one of the newer Tokyo Blade albums, and I was talking about how I like the newer stuff with Alan Marsh back on vocals, etc. And I thought to myself, I really need to get some of the other stuff on vinyl. It's all on my wish list, and I was just going through and cleaning up my wish list, making sure that I had everything on there on Discogs and everything. Now, this was the album that Alan Marsh was kicked out of the band on, and they replaced him with the new singer, which went on, to be with the band for a while, but this was the album. And there is a version of this album called The Night of the Blade, The Night Before, where, because Alan Marsh sang on all the songs, and then he was replaced, and they redid all the vocals. And so there is a version. I do have the CD, and I think there was a vinyl pressing of that, one of those like High Roller or something, one of the ones that's an import, where they have his vocals in there. So I am looking to get that. But this is the original version of that. This is on Combat Records. And, it's a great album, just different singer. And so when I saw this, again, sort of obscure in the sense of the stuff you normally see, I'm like, immediately get on there and hold it. Now, the other thing they had was they had a copy of In Trance by the Scorpions, but it was pretty pricey. But then I realized what it was a double record set with In Trance and Fly to the Rainbow. It was a France import where they had both albums in one sleeve, and it was just a little pricier than I wanted, even though thinking that it was actually 2 albums, it probably was a little more worth it, but still it was a little more than I had in my budget to buy. So I grabbed this. Now, while I was there, I did flip through both the clearance section, that what they got is like the $4 records, and the other new stuff that I missed, because there were some things in there that I had failed to see before. And first, in the clearance rack is outside on the sidewalk, and so I got in there first, and I couldn't believe I saw this. I mean, black and blue. I mean, to me, it's like, why is there 80s metal in the clearance rack? Anyway, nasty. I already have this, and I thought, well, let me just double check and make sure if it's not an upgrade. It looked like it's in pristine condition. Turns out mine is too. For the price, I'm grabbing it. It can be VCLT for somebody who doesn't have it, and I'm fine with that. So, and then I saw this Kihn, the Grey Rockin' Row Band. This is the one that has the Breakup song, which my band used to play all the time. They don't write them like that anymore. And again, great condition. I thought, I'm going to get this. Now, the reason I jumped on that, aside from, building up the Kihn collection, was because actually about 2 weeks ago, I found this one, which would have been after that. This was just like 85 album. I don't think there were any real big hits on here, but I found this in the store for $1. And it was in great condition, so I grabbed that. So I thought, hey, another great Kihn. It's one that's got the hits. Now, then I went in and was looking through the other used material, and I'm like, I have never seen this particular act in the wild personally, and I haven't seen them in this. I've never seen them, but I wouldn't expect them to be in this good a condition 4 albums from the 60s. But what do you all know about this band, the Cowsills? Can anybody tell me the significance of this band? And I'll wait, you know, anybody know the significance of this band? All right, fine, whatever. I did recently. I think a lot of people said, hey, this just popped up on my, I think it was Amazon Prime, I believe, or Hulu. I think it was Amazon Prime. The story of the Cowsills came up, a documentary that was made in 2011. For some reason, other people saying, hey, it just popped up in my suggestions. And I watched it. And then I had my wife watch it. And my wife watched it with me, I don't know, a month or two later, which was literally in the past month. I thought, you should watch this. Anyway, the Cowsills are the band. It started off as 4 brothers. Mother's just kind of overlooking. She might have done some of the vocals a little, but it was a brothers band. And anyway, this band had a couple of decent-sized hits in the 60s. This is 1967, I believe. Yeah, 1967, so I was 1 year old. And they went on to do all kinds of TV shows and everything, but this is the band that spawned the Partridge Family. They say that they didn't pick these guys, this family to be in the show, the Partridge Family, because they weren't really actors. And anyway, but everything about the Partridge Family was based around this family band with the mother. By the time their second album came, which they also had there, this is 1968. By the time this rolled around, the brothers were joined by mother and the sister. So we literally have just like right out of the Partridge Family looking stuff here. And sound-wise, a lot of it is. I mean, this is 68. This is the 60s, 70s. This is that kind of, you know, I don't know if it's called psych rock. It's more, I don't know what they call it, bubblegum, but it's got a lot of that in there. A lot of harmonies, a lot of, you know, sweet songs. And this was there too, and I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and grab both of these in the used bin. Now, it's nice. I noticed as I played these this morning that both of them have this little sticker here that says Collector's Records, $4. And then the other one has the same little price tag on it that says Collector's Records, $3. I didn't pay that. I didn't get to pay them that price for them. I wish I'd have bought them from Collector's Records when they were that price. I mean, they weren't expensive, but they definitely were $10. And so, anyway, I decided to grab these. And yeah, I listened to them both this morning, and I love them. And they're just great. They're that kind of same Partridge. Even my wife walked to me. She said, yeah, they do sound like the Partridge Family at times. Had to get them. Had never seen them in the wild. Now I'm on the lookout for if I find any other albums by them. And if you haven't seen the documentary, and if you have, I do believe it was Amazon Prime, I think. Look at all of your different streaming channels and look for I think it's called The Story of the Cowsills, or This is the Cowsills, or the band that's, I don't know, something with the Partridge Family. Anyway, check it out. It's really good. You know, you see the ups and downs, the situation with the family and the brothers and the turmoil and the power struggles and the hits and even where they're at today. And some of them still perform. But anyway, that was it, though. Just a couple of great things. And, you know, I was really after that Tokyo Blade, and I'm glad I grabbed it. And I do gonna keep an eye out for those videos because somebody is dropping some stuff there, and I gotta be fast. I will see you later, though. Rock on and rock hard.